Hey everybody, you're watching The Political Vigilante. My name is Graham Elwood. You can support the show by going to patreon.com/Graham Elwood and submit articles like this. This was submitted from Citizens Media TV. His name's Jeff Epstein, not that one. This is a good Jeff Epstein who talks about MMT. And so Tom Steyer was just able to jump into the race on his own. Tulsi Gabbard's probably going to get blocked, even though she has enough donors. But Tom Steyer, billionaire, gets in there. So let's find out Tom Steyer. He claims to be a progressive billionaire. Here's what the LA Times said about bets. Tom Steyer's bets on private prisons and coal mining could spell trouble in 2020. Who is Tom Steyer? How do we know this guy? Well, he started his career on Wall Street in the late 1970s, grew up in Manhattan, at Morgan Stanley, and worked later on mergers and acquisitions at Goldman Sachs. You might have heard of Goldman Sachs. They've been in every presidential cabinet since Reagan. They helped create the last global recession in 2008. They also, Hillary Clinton got paid $6,000 to do 3 speeches for Goldman Sachs. And one of those speeches, she said, we need to stop this anti-banking attitude. So there's where Tom Steyer comes from. That's his bloodline. In 1986, he opened Ferellian, which grew from 9 million to 36 billion. He boasts about that. I grew this company, one of these self-made billionaires. No, you were born into privilege. You were groomed to work in this Wall Street evil world, and now you think you're going to be the best president? So going to cureforcancer.co, why does a rich white guy think he's automatically more qualified? Yeah, I do have a bias. When Tom Steyer was running a hedge fund in 2000, he wrote a letter telling some wealthy investors their money would soon flow through an offshore company that would shield their gains from U.S. taxes. So we know he will protect the ruling class if he's president. That's why he's just automatically brought into the debates without any question, right? But this hedge fund, what did it invest its money in? Green energy? Did it in green energy, like cleaning the water supply, ending fracking? Is that what it? No. Oh boy, coal and private prisons. Coal and private prisons. I'll get into that in a second. So a key liability is Ferellian's 2005 investment of $34 million in Corrections Corp of America, which runs migrant detention centers on the U.S.-Mexico border for ICE. Tom Steyer said, when I found out about this, I immediately divested. Oh, boo-hoo. You found out, oh, this could hurt me publicly. Give me a break. Private prisons. Boy, Steyer and Kamala should run together. That's a great platform. Locking up poor people for America. Oligarch's wet dream. Steyer, Kamala, Harris, Steyer, whatever it would be. They would love it. The fund's history of investing in fossil fuel projects, including a giant coal mine in Australia. Oh, wow. I'm going to talk about this when Ron Placone and I perform in Australia in November. Tickets available at grahamelwood.com. The owners overcame protests by environmentalists, this is in Australia, and won permission. See? The wealthy can buy politicians in countries all over the world, even Australia, not just America, to clear 3,700 acres of forest that served as a koala habitat and mine 12 million tons of coal per year. That's Tom Steyer. That's who Tom Steyer is. Yeah, like any good billionaire, he can go to whatever country, wherever there's a place where he wants something to help his bottom line, screw over habitat, screw over indigenous people, screw over the working class, screw over anybody. That's Tom Steyer. And he wants to impeach Trump. How are you better than Trump? Huh? How are you better? You're not as vulgar, you're not as disgusting. Maybe you don't have, sexual assault accusations. Oh, so now we're getting into lesser of two evil. You're just not as horrible. You're not a disgusting human being. You're just a greedy asshole. Fantastic. But what else? Where else was he connected? Let's see what is, maybe he just grew up in the wealth and he's really decided it's time for me. Maybe the last couple years he's really been being very progressive. Oh, billionaire Tom Steyer steps down from Clinton-linked think tank amid the 2020 run for president. This came out August 7th. Huh. Oh, which think tank are you talking about, Graham? The Center for American Progress. That disaster of a train wreck run by none other than Neera Tanden. The CEO of Center for American Evil, Fake Progressive Bullshit confirmed that Steyer stepped down as director of the organization board when he decided to run for president. So just up until a couple of weeks or months ago, he was running that thing. Right? He was director of the organization. That's his history. Hedge funds, private prisons, coal, and Center for screwing over progressives so the Democratic Party can run a neoliberal corporate warmongering platform and tell you, shut up, we're the lesser of two evils. The Center for the Lesser of Two Evils, that's where Tom Steyer's from. But hey, Graham, he started Next Gen. Oh, Next Gen. Okay, Next Gen. Started Next Gen Climate and Environmental Action Group the year after he left the VC company where he was for 26 years. I smell just some political posturing. This sounds like Liz Warren's green military. We need to green up our military. So we can just say, I'm from Next Gen, and this is why Trump is awful, right? So yes, Next Gen is the Clinton style of neoliberalism. Let's just be a millimeter to the left of the Republicans. So they're not going to deny climate change. They're going to do this climate protecting, right? But remember when Obama had the House and the Senate? And he could have passed sweeping environmental legislation. He could have started the Green New Deal in 2009, 2010. We could be 9 years into a Green New Deal. Instead, we're fighting for our lives. So this is just that, like, I'm going to just be just a hair to the left of the Republican Party. And I'm going to claim to be some big liberal. This is Tom Steyer. Another corporate billionaire ruling class. So we know he's going to give the billionaires tax breaks because that's what he did. Yeah, he'll do it. If he were to become president, you know what he would do? He'd protect Roe v. Wade. He'd either revert back to some Obama-era climate, environmental protections that were just sort of mild. But this is like Joe Biden's middle ground climate policy and Liz Warren's green military and Kamala Harris's private prison locking up 120,000 people of color in the state of California and protecting pedophile priests, all wrapped in. He's got all that. He's got all those horrifying boxes checked. Tom Steyer, boo. Take your $1.6 billion and actually just spend it on fixing the environment. Why don't you go down to the Amazon instead of, I'm going to spend my own money on my campaign. Why don't you go stop what's happening in the Amazon right now? Why don't you do that? Why don't you put solar panels on low-income family housing all throughout the state of California? Why don't you do that instead of these fake things that you start with your bullshit hedge fund money? My name's Graham Elwood, the Political Vigilante. Patreon.com/Graham Elwood, Rockfin.com/Graham Elwood. And check out the Progressive Comedy Tour. Ron Placone and I are coming in September 4th through the 8th. Omaha, Sioux Falls, Madison, Wisconsin, Minneapolis, and Iowa City. I will be in Moscow September 20th, St. Petersburg September 27th. Those ticket links will be up soon. And as I said, we're going to Australia. November 14th, Melbourne. November 15th, Adelaide. November 17th, Sydney. November 22nd, Perth. Melbourne and Sydney, the tickets are going fast. Those shows will sell out. We're 3 months out and we're already selling like a lot. So check that out, everybody. Thank you for making Gotham great again.